Judah got that war cry. Benjamin got that war cry. Levi got that war cry. Issachar got that war cry. Naphtali Asher got that war cry. Gad got that war cry. Ephraim got that war cry. Manasseh got that war cry. Simeon got that war cry. Reuben got that war cry. Zebulun got that war cry. Israel got that war cry. I'm an Israelite, you can't top that. Most High, you can't stop that. Your arms are not long enough to boss the God, so don't fight back. Israel, repentant, keeping the laws, no sinning. Teach them a while, what's a part of her, so some prophets 31:15. We on the street, we part of loud, they spare none, no trembling. They laughing us, they scoffing hard, but they zombies and we living. Being a prophet is my profession.
We're going to start off with a banger here. Good question. When proving a brother, can you French kiss the brother? Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. That's a legitimate question. You bring it up. You know why this is such a good question? Because coming from the world, learning things where by us men, we was taught by our daddies, oh, go out there and sow your royal oats, boy. When you find the right one, you'll know, you'll settle down then. Until then, get all you can. That's what we was taught. Guess what? These sisters was taught the same thing too. Oh, if he ain't the one for you, you'll find the right one. Therefore, you hop from this one to this one to this one to this one. You done French kiss this one, and this one. Obviously, something ain't working. You gotta change that thing up. So let's see what God say about that. First scripture, it has to be implanted and drilled into the brains of our people because we can't spell this word. It's found in Hebrews 13:4. Let's see what it says. You French kiss a brother, why you proving? Let me show you what that is too.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
What is?
Marriage is honorable in all.
Why would marriage be honorable, brothers? Can any brother out here explain to the sisters, to some new brother that might not understand that they had girlfriends all his life and he said, I ain't getting married, I ain't never getting married. Shoot. You know how we talk. Why is marriage honorable? Brother Amir, you gotta stand up. I need a microphone in your hand. Pass the microphone down if you got one in the aisle. I need you brothers to be attentive. Check. To be in La La Land today. Yeah, why does God say marriage is honorable in all?
Because we're making a covenant between you, your wife, and the Most High.
Okay, all right, I like that answer. Any other brother? Brother Yuri. If you ain't got a mic, you can speak up front.
Shalom leadership.
Yeah, shalom.
It helps to avoid fornication.
Ooh, I like that one. I like that answer right there. That's a good one. We got any other brother that brother like him? Let's see what you got.
Because we become one flesh.
One flesh, okay. All right. All of y'all are right in your own sense. All right, Nariah, young man that ain't married. Let's see what you got.
Bring it out.
Let's see if the wisdom has descended upon you in the area of marriage. Why is marriage honorable?
So you're not lusting.
Yeah, just speak into it.
So you're not lusting after the girls in the world?
Oh, exactly right. That's a good reason too. Mattathias, one more in the back. Pass. Get your microphone if you got it. Why is marriage honorable in all?
Marriage is honorable in all because you're keeping the commandments.
Okay, that's one reason. All right. So let's get the answer here. Matthew 19, verse 4. Matthew 19, 4 through 6. Why is marriage honorable?
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning?
At the what?
At the beginning.
So when God created man and female, he did not create boyfriend and girlfriend. He didn't create a single sister. As soon as he made Eve, she was already what? Married. She was going right to Adam. What no proving process in between that? I made you for him. And all of you all in here, you sisters, you are ordained to be with, it may not be a brother here, it may be a brother in some other camp. But I tell you this, both of y'all was keeping the commandments. That's how you know that this is marriages of God. If that other person don't want to keep the commandments, God didn't put y'all together. That's your lust. Trying to make it work. And that's in 2nd Ezra. Read verse 4 again.
And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
Read on.
And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
And shall what?
Cleave to his wife.
All right, go back to Hebrews 13 and 4 real quick. Marriage is honorable in all. So it takes a man and a woman to be married. Two men can't get married. Two women can't get married. No. That's your own vain imaginations. Read that back in Hebrews 13 and 4.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
And what?
And the bed undefiled.
The bed is undefiled between who, brothers? You and your wife. Not between you and a brother or a sister you proven. Not between you and a brother you proven. Because that man is not her what yet, brothers? It's not a husband. You're proving that brother to see if he's going to keep the commandments or not. If he is about his word, is he really about these scriptures? Is he going to lead me back to God? That's a proven process. You are not actually married. So can you French kiss a brother that you proven? No, not at all. Because it's not your husband. So if you go outside of that and French kiss him, you are now defiling the sanctity of marriage, which God said is honorable. Because only a husband and a wife are supposed to be doing that. Not a boyfriend, girlfriend, not a sister that's proving a brother. So why does that thought come up? Because first came the thought, then came the question. So we got to deal with the thought. Because the thought is what is here and it comes out through the body. What goes into the mind. Let's get this here. Give me Galatians 5:16. So we're going to deal with the thought. We can tear that thing down, build you back up. Because it's our job. Tear down, root out, build, plant. Galatians 5 and 16.
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
The what?
The lust of the flesh.
That's where the thought came from. It's the lust in your flesh that makes you answer that question. Because you know that this isn't my husband. We're proving each other. I don't know if I'm going to be with him the rest of my life. But I wonder if I can still fulfill the lust that I have in me by French kissing him. Because I know I can't be having sex. Because that's fornication. He's not my husband. But let me try to find a loophole. So what's the difference between, because what happens if this don't get resolved in your spirit? Who's to say, well, okay, French kissing ain't wrong because we're not actually having sex, right? He didn't penetrate me. What next come is, go ahead and put your hand down there. Oh, okay, let me go ahead and put my mouth on it. Oh, we ain't having sex. That's the lust of your own flesh. Trying to fulfill that urge that you got to have sex because you're so used to getting it out there in the world. Whatever you felt like you wanted it, you just call up one of them dudes in your phone that you know's thirsty. Your brother's called a sister that you know she's always ready. Very sugar-coated for y'all. I speak truth in here. It says, not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Give me real quick. What's that? Jeremiah 4:22. Read that. That's why marriage is honorable and all in the bed undefiled, and anything outside of that is fornication, whoremongering. Read up.
Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children.
Stupid is what sottish means.
And they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil.
They what?
They are wise to do evil.
That's what happened with us. That's what did happen with us. Okay, I know I can't have sex. Well, I'll put 1,000 miles on my mouth. I'm gonna get some, what's that thing called women got? Douche. Vinegar, ain't that what y'all say? Tighten it back up. Like ain't nobody been in there. My people wise to do evil. Go back to Galatians 5 now and 16 again.
But to do good, they have no
Oh,
knowledge.
to do good, they have no knowledge. That's why we got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of God and understand who we are and what's our purpose. So read that in Galatians 5 and 16 again.
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
What is the spirit, brothers? Give me a precept for the spirit. Brother Abraham, let's see what you got.
Romans 7 and 14.
Romans 7:14. Let's go to it. Because our people love to say, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Well, this is what it means. And you ain't really spiritual if you ain't doing this.
Romans chapter 7 and verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
The what?
The law is spiritual.
That's how you are a spiritual person, by keeping the law. Because you can't go physically fight adultery. You can't go physically fight fornication. Those are spiritual things. And the only thing that can conquer those spirits, like lust, that thought of French kissing a brother that you just getting to know, is the law. Go back to Galatians 5:16. This is why Paul said that.
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit.
Walk in the laws of God,
and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
So what is a law that we just read in Hebrews 13 and 4 and Matthew 19? What was the law that we just read, brothers? Marriage is honorable. There are no boyfriends, girlfriends in the Bible. You walk in that law, you will not fulfill the lust thereof. Read on.
Verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
So Paul's telling you that inside of you, he even went through it in Romans 7. He went back and forth about it. Right. Inside, I want to do it, but my lust is yearning for this. And sometimes, and what happens is I slip up and I find myself on my back. Or I slip up and I find myself French kissing somebody because that lust of my flesh, I let it control my spirit. Read on.
Verse 18. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication.
What?
Adultery, fornication.
Fornication. That's the word I wanted to harp on. Fornication. Can a brother tell me what is fornication? What is fornication in the Bible? Other than Brother Judah, because he just already put his hand up. Mary, yes, what? Lyle. What is fornication? Let's see. Make it plain. Make it understandable to the people.
Fornication is stepping out of the lines of marriage, doing anything outside of the lines of marriage, like going against Leviticus 18.
Okay, and the laws of marriage between a man and a woman, which we read, was the bed's undefiled. So if you are French kissing, shouldn't even be envying your oppressor. I read that was like that. It said French kiss. Okay, then they got nothing to do with us. They let you know it's evil already. You got that from your oppressor, the French. But I digress. Fornication is to go against anything outside of the laws of marriage. Let's get some of those. Go to Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments, and keep my ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God.
Read on.
Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord.
So Leviticus 18 is a whole chapter about what Africans used to do in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan. You read through this. Let's just jump to one real quick. 18. Leviticus 18:18. Let's see what them Africans was doing that some black man love to do.
Leviticus.
Hispanic man love to do.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 18. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister, to vex her, to uncover her nakedness beside the other in her lifetime.
So if you have two women beside each other and you in the middle, what is that called, brothers? Yeah, what's the, since this is about French kissing, what's the French word for it then, Brother Amir? Menage a trois. God said, no, you Israelites ain't supposed to be doing that.
Right.
But be doing what your enemies done. Don't be French kissing if you ain't married. Don't be a menage a trois at any time. Verse 19.
Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness.
What does that mean, brothers? Put apart, Jehovah. What does that mean? Put apart for her uncleanness. What does that mean? A minstrel. You can't be having sex during that time of the month. No red light specials, God say. All right, let's see if we get some other ones in here. Jump down to verse 22.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination.
Is that it on that?
Yes, sir. 22.
All right, so no man laying with man, no women laying with women. Those are fornication.
Hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Read verse 19 one more time.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 19. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness.
To uncover her nakedness. Who knows? Who can explain that? Judah? To uncover her nakedness. Does that mean I can't look at her because she's naked? She's my wife and I can't look at her because she's naked? What does that mean? Uncover her nakedness. That's what it means. Can't sleep with her. Because when you uncover her nakedness is to lay with her.
Right.
Right? All right, because I know some brothers who they ask me a question. Oh, I can't even look at her naked because she's going through a period. I can't look at her naked. No, that doesn't mean that. It means if she's going to lie down with her. Okay.
Praise. All right, let's go back to Galatians here real quick.
Galatians chapter 5 and verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
So if you find yourself in the midst of any of those sins, which are spirits that are on you, you better cleanse yourself from them. Go to Romans 6 and 12. right, let's get through these so I can answer these other questions. We got a bunch of questions too. Romans 6 and 12.
Romans chapter 6 and verse 12. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof.
So that's the reason why the thought would be coming of, can I French kiss a brother on proving? Because you still got that sin in your body that is lust, where I want to have sex, but I can't. I know I can't do it, so let me quench that urge that I got. Go ahead. Verse 13.
Verse 13. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God.
And the way you do that is by disciplining your spirit and your body, bringing your flesh under control.
Just to show the importance of two proven brothers and sisters French kissing each other. Who's married again? Okay. Brother Laia, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm asking you a question. Stand up. If your wife first kissed another man, what is that?
Fornication?
So what makes it different when they prove each other?
No difference.
There's no difference. Fornication is fornication. Someone might say, oh man, it's not a big deal. Okay, if your wife first kisses another man, what's that? Fornication. So what's the difference? Fornication is fornication.
That it? All right, so let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter, let's start off in 6, maybe it'll come to me.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I would not be brought under the power of any.
So it's no law, there's nothing wrong with kissing, but it has to be between a husband and a wife.
Right.
And you're not supposed to let your lust in your body control you so much that you brought under the power of that. I just had to do it. It was just on my mind, it was just burning inside of me. I just had to do it to get it out of the way. Now I'm good. Well, damn. You just added sin in your life. But you feel better. Read on.
Meats for the belly, and the belly for meats. But God shall destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for fornication.
The body is what?
Not for fornication.
The body is not for you to fulfill the lust thereof. God didn't give you that body so you can fulfill the itch that you got when you need to scratch it. Read on.
But for the Lord, and the Lord for the body.
Read on.
And God have both raised up the Lord, and will also raise up us by his own power.
All right, go to Sirach 18 and 30. 30 and 31.
Sirach chapter 18 and verse 30.
In Ecclesiasticus, for those that I knew, Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha.
Sirach chapter 18 and verse 30. Go not after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thine appetites.
God says, refrain yourself from that thing. Go not after it, because it's not honorable. What happens if you mess around and French kiss this dude and then you find out he ain't the one for me and he move on to somebody else, and then what y'all did becomes some of their conversation. Now you come in like, you wonder why the hell is she looking at me all crazy now? She proving that brother, y'all conversation just happened to come up. Yeah, I was French kissing some other girl. Now you the talk of the congregation. Read on.
If thou givest thy soul thy desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies that malign thee.
So he's going to make you a laughing stock. Go to 1 Thessalonians 4 and 3. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 3. Let's see what God says to us.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 3. For this is the will of God.
This is the will of God. This is what he wants you to do from sitting on his throne. Read on.
Even your sanctification.
This is what makes you holy, sanctified.
That ye should abstain from fornication.
You do what?
abstain from fornication.
The Bible sure does talk about abstaining from fornication a whole lot, don't it? God know his people. You the sand of the sea. You didn't get that way for no reason. But he says there's boundaries to it. You multiply between a husband and a wife. You're affectionate between a husband and a wife. That way you abstain from fornication. Read on.
Verse 4. That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor.
God says you should know this. The only way you're going to know this is if you are studying. Or if you have that thought in your head, you ask the question. You seek out counsel for it. There's some scriptures on it so I can purge this thought from my mind and my body and my spirit so it don't become something else and I mess around and French kiss this dude and I end up sleeping with him. Now we got to get married according to God's laws or I'm a whore.
You know what's crazy? If I could get you to French kiss me,
oh yeah,
I could get into it.
Yep,
I can get it.
You better believe it.
Straight up. That's what's on the mind of a nigga.
Yep.
And you just playing right along with that nigga, and next thing you know, you're gonna be up here, we slept together, don't know what to do now.
Now he played it long enough. You French kissed him, led to something else. You didn't know that, you know, he got a problem when he get mad, he fire off and smack people. Now you stuck with a dude that, what's that thing called? Schizophrenia slapping. What's it? What is that one white dude on the little thing? It's a little commercial. Somebody messed with his kid, and the people walk up in order just slapping everybody. Slap, slap, slapping cops, kids, everybody. Mess around, be you.
Hey, what's going on?
It's mine, Daddy. Noah keeps taking away from me.
Noah, give it back.
No.
Noah, give it back.
No.
I said give it back now. Noah!
Larry, what the hell are you doing? Larry!
Larry, you can't just... Oh,
Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did you...
Larry! Righto, what's going on here?
Oh, sir, I'm arrested. Oh.
Mess around and be you. That's the truth. Slapped all up. Read verse 5. Read verse 4 and 5 together.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 4. That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor.
And honor. That's one thing that women don't do and men don't do either. We do not honor our bodies.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 4. That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, not in the lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles which know not God.
He said, man, he compared you to the heathens out there. Not in the lust of concupiscence. Can we look up that definition? Merriam-Webster definition. We got to look words up. This is studying to show yourself approved. It's a difference between studying and reading. Reading is you just keep on reading. Oh, I'm done with the book. Studying is, oh, I see this. Oh, let me stop and see what that word means. Oh, okay. What does that mean? How do I possess my body? What does that say? Concupiscence. C-O-N-C-U. It should pop up. Concupiscence. Strong desire, especially sexual desire. That's what that thought comes from. It's a strong sexual desire that you got. So you're gonna take the back road of it and try to French kiss. Let's see the synonyms. Desire, eroticism, horniness, itch. Ain't I been saying that? Hot, lech. Ooh, they got some big words. Libido news. Y'all know what I mean. Look at the word lust, lustfulness, lustyhood, passion, voluptuousness, concupiscence. What does that mean? Arousing or appealing to sexual desire or imagination. Read that again, verse 5.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 5. Not in the lust of concupiscence.
All that stuff we just read. Desire, eroticism, horniness, hot itch. Read on.
Even as the Gentiles which know not God.
That's what they do. That's what they do. As I was telling some of these officers, and some of the officers telling me their stories too about going out doing cuts from the street, looking at these Edomites. 15 years old, running up in grown man's face, ain't got no clothes on. They the first whores of the earth. They the ones that taught you how to dress like that, showing your chest and your buttocks and all that type stuff. The only thing is happening is we took it to the next level. Because we don't do things just small, we do it big. Israel do it big. So he's saying they don't know God. That's the stuff they do. That's why Rome used to have orgies, man sleeping with man. Alexander the Greek said, what did he say? No other love or the most purest place on the earth, something like it, is a little boy's butthole. That's what Alexander said. That's why you got all them Catholic priests sleeping with little boys. Abstain from marriage is what they do. They can't get married, so they sleep with little boys. Better not be walking after their ways of the Gentiles and French kissing a brother. So can you French kiss a brother by proving? No. Hell no. End up hold out somewhere. And the law says what? Deuteronomy 23:17. Last one right here. Deuteronomy 23:17. What does the law say about sisters in Israel hoeing?
Deuteronomy.
It might be, ooh. So where did he say that? He got the Bible in front of him? Let's see if God said it.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. There shall be no whore.
God said what?
There shall be no whore.
There shall be no hoes in this house of God.
Of the daughters of Israel.
Of the daughters of Israel. You are princesses of God. These are princes of God. Princesses don't go around French kissing brothers they really don't know. They possess their body in sanctification and honor.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.